This is going to be a complete tutorial of the click2ea tool. The click2ea tool helps you create custom alert and notification robots in minutes without writing or copy-pasting any code. You can combine any of the major MT5 indicators for the alerts and notifications. With click2ea, you can create an unlimited number of robots. This tool is meant for creating robots for accurate alerts and notifications. Auto trading is just an additional feature. All created robots can send alerts and notifications based on buy or sell entries and exits. You can filter the alerts and notifications by date, time, or spread. You can also customize each robot's name and theme color. All robots created using the click2ea tool can display 4 major candlestick patterns on your chart as they form. All the robots have the same interface as the example you see on the screen. The chart is quite a mess because we have all 4 candlestick patterns on. The gray buttons on top indicate the candlestick patterns that are on. There's a non-intrusive dashboard on the top left with important data. Right below it is the name of the robot. On the far right are 3 indicators that show whether you have desktop alerts, email notifications, or auto entry on. Creating a robot is quick. Just turn on some pre-selected simple prompts, and the click2ea tool instantly builds a ready-to-use bug-free robot. You can share or back up your robots anytime from your experts folder. So this is the main interface of the click2ea tool. I'm going to explain all the settings you see here, including how the indicators work. I will then create an example robot so that you can better understand how to use the click2ea tool. First, we have the final EA main settings. The expert advisor name is where you put the name you want for the EA or robot you are creating. The default theme color is where you set the default color of your final EA. The magic number is just a unique identifier, and no 2 robots should have the same magic number. Strategy summary is where you record a summary of the strategy you are putting in your robot for later reference. Next, we go to prompts to use. This is where you decide what prompts you want to use in your robot. We have 4 prompt sections. If you want your robot to only be able to send you buy alerts and notifications, or to only enter buy positions, you turn on the buy alert prompts and turn off the other 3 below. The same logic applies for the other prompt sections below. Mostly you would want your robot to be able to do everything here. In that case, you have to leave all of them on. If you turn on one section like the buy alert prompts, you must make sure that one of the indicators under that section is set to true, and one of the prompts under the indicator is turned on. If you don't do this, you will get an error. This applies to all the other 3 prompt sections as well. Let us look at an indicator example. Here we have the accelerator oscillator. All the indicators apart from the last indicator in every section have the word "and" to the side. When creating a robot, you only turn on one prompt under all the indicators you set to true per section. In this case, if you set the accelerator oscillator to true, you only turn on one prompt under it. If we were to set accumulation distribution to true as well, we would only turn on one prompt under it. This should be the case in all the sections. It doesn't matter if you set to true 10 or 20 indicators, you should only turn on one prompt under each indicator. So the word "and" on the side here is to remind you that all the prompts turned on in one section will be combined. Therefore, in order to get a signal or an alert, all the prompts you turned on per section must be able to occur at the same time. This is not a problem because if your strategy makes sense, all prompts turned on will occur at the same time. Let me explain this with an example strategy. So on the screen is an example. The first strategy condition is to enter a position when the 10 moving average is above the 100 moving average and RSI crosses above the high level 80. Depending on how you trade, this could be a buy or a sell to you, it doesn't matter. The important thing to note is that the probability of one moving average being above the other when we experience an RSI cross is high. Therefore, both conditions can occur at the same time. This is what I meant when I said that all the prompts you turn on in one section must be able to occur at the same time. Let's look at the second condition that might not be able to work. It says to enter a position when the 10 moving average crosses above the 100 moving average, while at the same time, the RSI crosses above the high level 80. As you know, the probability of any two crosses happening at the same time is highly unlikely. This is what I meant when I said that your strategy must make sense. So, back to the indicators. As you know, naturally all indicators on MT5 have custom settings. Well, here on the click2ea, all we have is prompts. The settings of whichever indicators you set to true will appear in your robot settings, where you will be able to adjust them. You will see this when we take a look at the EA settings. We combined, split, and even added some custom indicators, resulting in over 50 indicators per section. All this was done to make it easy to use the tool. Navigating through all the indicators would be hard, and that is why we arranged them in alphabetical order. On the far right of all indicators, you can see 2 or 3 letters. The first letter represents the alphabetical order of the indicators in a section. So if you are searching for accelerator oscillator, you would want your first letter to be an A. The second letter or 2 letters represent the section you are in. B represents the buy alert prompts section. S represents the sell alert prompts section. EB represents the exit buy alert prompts section. ES represents the exit sell alert prompts section. So let us look at an example of a combined indicator. We have the moving average cross indicator. The moving average cross indicator is a combination of 2 moving averages. If you use it, you will have settings of the fast and slow moving averages in your final EA settings. An example of an indicator that has been split is the MACD indicator. As you can see, we have MACD and MACD cross. One handles the MACD line and the signal line crosses, while the other handles the MACD level and the position of the MACD line. One important thing to mention is that level X in an indicator just means the indicator level. Now let us look at a custom indicator. We have the pullback indicator. This indicator is very important in that it will let you know when price pulls back to a moving average of your choosing. You will be able to set your desired pullback moving average in the settings section of your EA. Now let us look at the robot settings of a robot created by the tool. We have the general settings. Under this, we have the default theme color, which is the theme color of your robot. Desktop alerts. You turn this on if you want to receive alerts from your robot on MT5. Email notifications. You turn this on if you want to receive email notifications from your robot. For emails to work, you must first set up emails on your MT5. It is a well-documented procedure with many references online you can refer to. After you set up your emails and you turn the email notifications on, your robot will automatically send you email notifications. Auto entry. You turn this on if you want your robot to automatically open positions. Buy alert notification text is the text you receive when your robot sends a buy alert. Sell alert notification text is the text you get when your robot sends a sell alert. Exit buy alert notification text is the text you get when your robot sends an exit buy alert. Exit sell alert notification text is the text you get when your robot sends an exit sell alert. We now move on to EA settings. We already explained the magic number. This is carried from the tool. The strategy summary is also carried from the tool. Trade comment is the comment that is appended to any position opened by your robot. The stop loss pips and the take profit pips are necessary if you plan to have the auto entry on. This is because positions need a stop loss and a take profit, obviously. Let's move on to lot size settings. We have manual lot size. If you keep this off, the auto lot size will be used. It's important to mention that the auto lot size only works with currency pairs. So you will need to state your percentage risk per trade and your stop loss below, which will be used to calculate the auto lot size. Next is the maximum automatic lot size, where you simply state the maximum auto lots your robot can use. Lastly, if you are trading anything other than currency pairs, you will have to turn manual lot size on and state your lot size in the manual lot size value. Next, we have spread settings. And we have maximum spread in pips. This makes sure that your robot does not open positions when the spread is too high. Next, we have balance protection. This is where you put the maximum percentage of your account you are willing to lose in a day. The calculations are done twice a day, and you can set your times here. Make sure to maintain the 24-hour format. Your robot will only be able to use the 24-hour format, so make sure that your computer time is also set to the 24-hour format. Right below, we have the date and time settings for when you want your robot to run. Again, with the time, I need to stress that you have to maintain the 24-hour format and make sure your computer is also in the 24-hour format. Next, we have the candlestick patterns. You can adjust their settings or leave them as they are. We already saw how they are drawn on the chart before. Next is the indicator settings. This is where all the settings of the indicators you set to true can be edited. In this case, we are only using the accelerator oscillator. Since we are using the same accelerator oscillator in our strategy, all the settings in all the sections, that is, the level X's in this case, should be the same. Now let us create a sample EA. We will send a buy alert when the 10 moving average is above the 100 moving average and RSI 14 crosses above the minimum level 20. We will send a sell alert when the 10 moving average is below the 100 moving average and RSI 14 crosses below the maximum level 80. For the exits, we are going to be using the RSI indicator only. We will send an exit buy alert when RSI 14 crosses below the maximum level 80. We will send an exit sell alert when RSI 14 crosses above the minimum level 20. So on the tool, you should adjust the final EA main settings as you wish. I will only adjust the name and leave everything else, including the strategy summary as is. Make sure that all the prompt sections are on since we are going to be using indicators in all the sections. Now for the buy alert condition, we go to the first section. Then we go to the moving average cross indicator. Set the moving average cross indicator to true. Then turn on fast MA is above the slow MA. Still on the buy alert prompt section. We go to the RSI indicator. Set it to true. Then turn on RSI just crossed above the minimum level. Moving on to the sell alert condition. We go to the second section. We then go to the moving average cross indicator. We set it to true. Then we turn on slow MA is above the fast MA. Still on the sell alert section. We go to the RSI indicator. We set it to true. Then we turn on RSI just crossed below the maximum level. Next is the third section, the exit buy alert section. We go to the RSI indicator. We set it to true. Then we turn on RSI just crossed below the maximum level. Finally, we go to the fourth section, the exit sell alert section. We go to the RSI indicator. We set it to true. And then we turn on RSI just crossed above the minimum level. And that's it for creating our robot. So we proceed to click OK below. We receive confirmation messages. Close them. Now on MT5. Click IDE. Your colors might be different, but it's all the same thing. Open the Files folder. You will see robots.txt. This is your EA. Just a side note, if there is any EA in the Files folder, it will automatically be replaced by the most recent EA you create. Right-click the robots.txt and rename it to the name you chose earlier in the tool. Change TXT to MQ5 and click anywhere around the files. Now drag your new MQ5 file into the Experts folder. The Experts folder might open automatically, or you may have to open it manually. Open your new MQ5 file. You'll see the code on the right. Click a compile, and you're done. All code from the tool is fully tested and should not have any errors. We don't need to arrange the code, but if we do, and then we compile, we can see how much code is in our EA. If you choose to arrange your code, make sure to compile it again. You should be very careful in the IDE, otherwise you will lose your code and you will have to start the whole EA creation process again. Now close the IDE. You can now find your robot in the Navigator tab. Let's test the robot to see whether it works. Open the strategy tester. Select your robot in the experts area. Then select your symbol and the time frame. You should know how to use the strategy tester. You can adjust the input of your robot by clicking the Inputs tab. For now, we won't change anything. Let's click Start. Now, if you understand the MetaTrader strategy tester, you know that alerts and notifications do not work on the strategy tester. So the only way to know if your robot will send you alerts and notifications is to see whether it opens positions on the strategy tester. If it successfully opens and closes positions on the strategy tester like our robot is doing, then you can be sure that it will also send alerts and notifications. Normally, when using indicators, we only consider a signal after a candle closes. This is so as to eliminate the possibility of false signals that are common when a candle is still forming. In the same way, all robots created will only send you alerts or notifications after the current candle closes. So it is safe to say that signals are generated once per candle. Now that we are sure the robot works, we can close the strategy tester window and the strategy tester settings. You can now drop your robot on any chart. Adjust the settings as you wish. First, you have to adjust the indicator settings. Since in this case we are using the same 2 moving averages for entries and the same RSI for entries and exits. Make sure that in the buy and sell indicator sections, you have the 10 moving average and the 100 moving average. Both 10 moving averages should have the same settings, and both 100 moving averages should also have the same settings. You should also make sure that in all the 4 sections, the RSI indicators have the same settings, including the 14 period. You can then decide above whether you want to keep alerts, email notifications, or auto entries on. The robot should now be ready for use, and you can click OK below. That is all for this tutorial. To get this tool and others, check the links in the description. Thanks for watching.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.